Joining me in the studio today is Conservative Eastleigh MP Mims Davies, who's here to talk about upcoming plans and to share her thoughts after the election. Well, thank you very much for joining us here. And it's not the first time that you've been elected, it's the second time that Eastleigh have chosen you over your counterparts, and this time with an increased majority as well. It's
fantastic to be re-elected as the MP for Eastleigh. Last time as the first woman MP for Eastleigh, and this time the second woman MP. Just happens to be me once again. So thank you so much to the electorate who came out and voted, gave me such a backing and a confidence to know that I was doing the job okay, and I get a chance to do it again. And obviously as an MP, constituency MP, you must represent everybody. So although people haven't voted for you, you're very clear that once you are the MP, you're there for everybody in the community who needs you.
Excellent. And last time, obviously, you took the seat from the Lib Dems and it was all brand new to you. You had to go in, sort out staffing and things like that. This time, you're walking back into your own office. It's business as usual. So what things had you started that you're looking to complete this time round? So much, actually. And I know other colleagues who maybe had a tougher time at the ballot box than I certainly feel aggrieved about that. Once you've got your feet under the table, learn the ways of Westminster, balancing the constituency work. Really frustrating for people not to be able to continue to do that. So in Eastleigh, on the doorstep, some of the key issues: transport, productivity, getting around the area, really busy and jammed up on the motorways, getting in and out of the constituency is really hard. So infrastructure issues, making sure that I'm at the table when it comes to the government, making sure that Eastleigh gets the goodies by having a Conservative MP there. So for example, I'm delighted that this month the Botley bypass will be going to planning permission. We'll be seeing a chance to unlock those queues in the centre of Botley, which is a village in my constituency which is constricted by traffic at peak time, outside schools, really tough for those businesses in terms of pulling in people to shop and spend time in the centre of the village. So we've got some funding coming forward with that. We've got the Chickenhall Link Road that's coming into Eastleigh. That's another link that we're trying to get people to be able to sustain their businesses with, and that's another one working with the local enterprise partnership, that by being back in government, by working with the Department for Transport, that I can bring this forward for Eastleigh. We've been waiting over 30 years for this road. We're getting some progress and there's more to do on this. Brilliant. And so that was obviously what you had in plan before, what you're looking to continue. Are there any new ideas that you're looking to push through, particularly that sort of Eastleigh constituents would be concerned about?
Well, it's something that very much started briefly when I was in Westminster before the snap election, but it is protecting our green spaces and our ancient woodland across Eastleigh. People do need the homes, the right homes for our youngsters and for people who are stuck in their teenage bedrooms, having come back from university and thinking, right, where is my home and where is it going to be, and I want to live near to my family. We need to find a balance in Eastleigh and across that constituency about homes in the right places but protecting our green space. There's been a lot of hostile development and currently we have got some ancient woodland under threat. So when I was in Westminster before, we had a commitment by the government for the homes in the right places and to protect ancient woodland better, to make it more protected like an area of special scientific interest. When we're talking about ancient woodland, we're talking about trees which are over 400 years old. It's like building in and around churches and cathedrals. We don't do it in any other place. So for me, I really like to see that going forward with my work in Westminster, because that protects the community and the green spaces for my constituents and hopefully means homes in the right places.
Definitely. And I mean, it's just speaking on behalf of some of the constituents, obviously the government isn't quite formed yet. As we go to broadcast to say talks are ongoing, they're looking hopeful, but they are nothing set in concrete. Maybe are some of your constituents worried about a potential deal with the DUP over some of their maybe sort of LGBT rights, for example?
There's no doubt people are concerned about the hand that the government's been dealt in terms of forming a majority was impossible. Anybody forming a government would need to work with the DUP, would need to work with the minority parties. We're very close to being over the line to having a majority, but not close enough, sadly. And that is very much reflected in what my constituents have had to say to me. As you say, talks are ongoing by the Prime Minister and the leader of the DUP to try and find some shared common ground. around. But having been on the Women and Equality Select Committee, being a woman myself in Parliament, making sure that the position that we're in as a government and the hand that we've been dealt doesn't push LGBT rights, trans rights backwards is so important. The first work that I did when I got to Westminster was being on the Women and Equality Select Committee and doing a great piece of work with cross-party colleagues on transgender rights. Now, there's no way that a Conservative, progressive government would want to see those eroded. We've done so much to improve that, bringing in the equality when it comes to marriage. So yes, it's going to be difficult, but as colleagues across the House know, that we need to be mindful about the progress that we've made.
Excellent. Well, if a deal can be made, you've got another 5 years to be able to sort all that out, but for now we're all out of time. Thank you very much for joining me.
Thank you for having me. Great to be back.